Hey there, Cherry's DIY here, with finally a lighting tour, which I'd like to get right into because we've got a lot of ground to cover. So, starting with my bedroom. Here you can see we have this nice little hurricane lamp. It's got two sections lit up. The top has a 1 watt GE bulb in it, S14, and the one on the bottom is a 0.5 watt General Electric C7. Moving over here to the reading lamp, or the pendant lamp as you might recall. There's a 1.5 watt GE in there, and it's an S11 shape. And then over here, you can see that that is also like the 0.5 watt. That's at the base of the hurricane lamp. That one's more of a Art Nouveau style lamp, if you can see it. Now, moving on to the Hampton Bay fan here. I don't know all the names of them, and we have mostly Hampton Bay in this house. As you see, we have our Fight Electric 25 watt equivalent LEDs, and on a 3-way switch, of course, we have our Great Value 40 watt equivalent LED lamps, which are like the HPS color. And in the bedroom closet, we have a green light LED bulb, 3000K 60 watt equivalent. Now, in the bathroom, up here, we have this, I believe it's a Levitton lamp with Philips 40 watt equivalent CFL. As you can see, I'll probably just leave that on just to let it warm itself up. And also at the very top here, in the ceiling, we have a Philips scene switch bulb with 3 color temperature settings changed by the speed at which you flip the light on and off. Here's the 2200K, which is a very low amount of lumens. I would say maybe it's like, I think it's 80 lumens. Now we have 2700K at, how many lumens? Oh geez, I can't remember, 800. And then we have 5000K at 800 lumens. Of course, in the guest room we have our student lamp, which right now has a GE Iridescent 40 watt bulb, incandescent, since the neon lamp, the Cycle one, was burned out. Now we switch over to our little GE 1.5 watt S11, just like what's in the reading lamp. Very neat. As you can see, here's the ceiling fan, which is a Hampton Bay. It's a very much smaller ceiling fan. If you can look at the bulbs, you can see that they're actually lit up. These are some cheap Shine Star 40 watt equivalent bulbs. So you can see that one's not so much lit up, that's just reflecting. But the capacitance in the wiring is keeping them lit up a bit, which is kind of neat. So let's flip that on real quick. As you can see. Now, in my little workshop, here is a nice lamp that's made with some 3-way Levitton lamp holders. And it's got a switch here installed, and they have their individual switches too. These are 5000K Great Value 60 watt equivalent bulbs, so it gives me something like, I think it's 1600 lumens. And as you can see, the Unsung Hero, which was made in 2020. And it's just so great because it's just so easy to change these out instead of fluorescent tubes. And here's the Hampton Bay ceiling fan in this room. It's much more ornate. I don't know the names of any of these, but it's so neat. And here's the Great Value 35 watt equivalent lamps, and then here's the 40 watt equivalent Great Value lamps, again like HPS. Very neat. And in the workshop closet we have a 60 watt equivalent green light bulb, which is just like the ones we have in the downstairs bathroom. 60 watt equivalent LED lamp. Nice little designs on the shade there. And of course the, I believe it's an LED plug. I'm not sure if a neon indicator is in there. You can see it flashing a bit. It doesn't actually do that to my eyes, but the camera can pick it up. And of course it goes to the shop lamp that I have in here. And in the master bedroom we have another hurricane lamp, much more modern, probably 1950s or 1960s, and as you can see I have both of them on. At the bottom is the 0.5 watt General Electric C7, and on top we have our We have a 60 watt equivalent General Electric bulb and A19. And for the lamps, usually I just use 2700K lamps, so yeah. And the ceiling fan in the master bedroom, which has no three-way switch for the lamps, but it does have a remote control. There we are. It's got some 75 watt equivalent 5000K great value lamps in it. And now in the hallway, we have these Victorian style lamp holders, as you can see, and there's the same type downstairs. And if I'm not mistaken, the two lamps, because again for the one downstairs, they're 60 watt equivalent. I'm not sure if they're 2700K or 3000K. I don't remember these bulbs because I got them from Goodwill as part of something else. So I can't tell you the brands, but I'm pretty sure one is the Satco and another one's a brand I'm not quite sure of. As you can see, for the downstairs one. And just a fun little tidbit, you can see we kept some of the original covers. And of course, once more, we have our, I believe there's a 25 watt equivalent, 2700K, but they're dipped in some kind of orange to give like a 2200K color appearance. The great value lamps right here. And these romantic revival sconces, I believe. Because they're not quite Victorian. Of course, there's the Christmas Village. And again, our lamp holder. Another Hampton Bay ceiling fan with a remote. And let me turn on the lamp for you. Okay, and as you can see, it's got some LEDs in there. 5000K candelabra base, you know, little flame style bulbs up there. Great value, of course. And pretty neat because they do dim not well. Whoops. Just, I guess it's not great. You know, I bet if anything, if I turn off the fan, they'll start dimming correctly. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, now we're turning it back all the way up. Okay. And here is one of our nicer floor lamps with a great value. LED bulb, of course, three-way. As you can see, it's quite old. It's got a lot of brass. It's mostly brass. And on the top, we have a nice little finial. 100 watt equivalent, 60 watts equivalent, and 40 watt equivalent. And here's a wax warming lamp. As you can see, it's got a little sea theme to it. And that has a G25 25 watt incandescent bulb in there to melt the wax. And now, still in the living room, of course, here's the lamp right here with 60 watt equivalent LED bulb in there. I believe it is a Philips. And then the 0.5 watt GE in there, the little C7. We like using those. And of course on the three-way switch, of course. Okay, and now in the dining room, as I have trouble focusing, we have 3 lamps in this this nice one right here, this little chandelier. We have about, I believe these are Halco 60 watt equivalent CFLs in there. And of course in the background, there is the little Coke sign, which is probably the first you're all ever seeing of it. It's got a S11 7.5 watt Fight electric bulb in there, I believe. And yeah, it's pretty neat. Let me actually just turn off the lamp real quick so you can see it. There we go. You can actually see it better. And believe it or not, it's actually not as bright right there at the top where the Coke is. It actually looks more like that. You see that? Pretty neat, eh? Now in the kitchen, we have this, I believe it's a commercial electric. We replaced our old fluorescent in here, as you can see, because the driver gave out, and it was always kind of a thing that, you know, being in the kitchen, you flip the fluorescents on and off all the time, so they really didn't last as long as they should have. But anyway, this is an LED fixture, And this is probably, I don't know, maybe it's like 150 watt equivalent or something. But yeah, it lights up pretty well. Gives off a pretty nice amount of lumens. If I remember correctly, it was something like 2,000 lumens. But I checked the packaging a while ago and I can't really find it. I'll have to look again for it more. And by the way, it's quite period correct, especially for the kitchen. We have a ceiling fan in here, which is a small one, of course. It's only got 4 blades. And I'm not sure of the brand of it. I can't seem to find anything on it. As you can see, I'm actually using one of those ShineStar 40 watt equivalent LEDs in there. And again, it's got that capacitance thing going on, which is really exacerbated by the little globe I'm using. Which isn't the original globe, as it is from a Hubble fixture. Pretty neat, pretty neat. Here we are in the little sewing machine area in the foyer with a 2000 lumen LED lamp. As you can see. And in a strange sense, it kind of has that little glowing LED phenomena going on in there. I guess from Achieve Electronics, of course. And as you can see, we have a lamp here with a little leather shade, and it's got some seashells on the bottom in a jar. I think this was homemade by someone. It's got a Leviton lamp holder. It's got a green watt, 60 watt equivalent LED bulb in there. Moving on to the first floor bathroom, we have, I forget the name of these, but here's some 60 watt equivalent LED bulbs here. And then we have our 40 watt equivalent CFL, which is a Philips. Again, much like the one upstairs in the bathroom, which is the mini spiral. And of course, here's our True Tone in here. Moving on to one of the spare rooms is another Hampton Bay fan, as you can see, and it's got some 40 watt equivalent LED, great value LED lamps in there. And of course, not on a 3-way switch; they all light up once you pull out their cord. And in the laundry room, we have a Earthtronics CFL, 60 watt equivalent, 3300K, I believe.